What I want to do in this tutorial is look through some of the visual aids we have in the UV editor. So there's just a couple within here. One, and the first one we'll look at, is if you have any flipped faces within your UVs, which can sometimes cause problems depending which software you're going into. So if I just click up here, so we have our normal display UV shells. If I go into the next one, the shaded view, it shades these out in this purple color, and anything that's the purple color is absolutely fine. That's kind of what we're wanting. If I go over something where we have overlapping UVs, we get a slightly different shade within here. We get this more like a blue color within that, and that's something just to watch out for, because some software doesn't like overlapping UVs. If you're doing normal maps, you're baking normal maps, then generally you don't want overlapping UVs on anything. So this is just a visual representation of that. I just drag this out of the way. Another thing you're looking for is, or you want to watch out for, is flipped UVs. And this can happen if, for example, I was working with something like a cylinder and I did a projection map from the top. What it does with the underneath side of this, if this was a cylinder, is it would actually be projecting that from the wrong side of the polys. So we may have a flip face on that. I can cause this to happen. So within my transform, underneath my tools down here, so just in my transform menu, to my tools, I can actually flip this, and we get something like this where it's showing in red. This is something you want to avoid. So to get rid of that, we can just simply flip this on either the U or the V, depending which way around you want that. So we can do that way, okay? And there you see we have that back. So that's our first one, that's a shaded one. If I right click on that, then what this is doing is showing our different UV islands. We can see this color coded on our mesh here as well. So we have a left click and we have a right click on there. If I click on the next one, this is showing our UV distortion. So anywhere that the mesh is white is absolutely fine. That is perfectly laid out. We have no distortion on the mesh at all. Where we have it going blue and then into red, where we have this red are the problematic areas, especially where there's a lot of red in the mesh. So we can see on this that the unfold has done a decent job, but just around here we still have problems. And this is just something you need to balance out between having more seams or having less distortion. So if I was to go in here and just in edge mode, just grab these edges for example, and just go through and let's just shift right click, cut those. And let's do an unfold on this one and an unfold on this one. There you see it becomes more pinky now, so there's less of an issue. And as I go through this bit by bit and cut more into this, so let's say we get this one for example, and again just shift right click and cut. So the more that we do this, the less distortion we're getting. But the issue with this is we are getting more seams. So it's a better representation in terms of distortion, but we are getting more seams within our mesh, so more issues to contend with for texturing, and also we're increasing the amount of UVs as well within our mesh. So it's just something to be aware of. So those are a couple of visual representations of our mesh just within the UV editor, and these can all help you out when you're doing your UV layouts.